Good morning to our spiritual brothers, sisters, particularly Vietnamese spiritual brothers, sisters. As you know, recent weeks, some illness, and then I have to go Delhi, all of a sudden. And then few days in hospital, some medication. Most troublesome is some needle here, 24 hours, and I think every 5 hours, 6 hours, this doctor come and some liquid, some medicine. So quite terrible. But then, now, I think almost completely recover, no problem. Then, say the other day, the puja or ceremony for so long life. So not only human being, Tibetan human being, but also you see Tibetan spirit. Since 8th century, the 8th century, you see Tibetan emperor Trisong Tizin, and then the great Indian master from Nalanda, Shandarakshita, great scholar, logician. He introduced Buddha Dharma according to Nalanda tradition. So the unique thing about the Nalanda tradition is we utilize extensively reason, not faith. So Buddha himself, you see, express, "Oh, my follower, or monks, scholars, should not accept my teaching out of faith, but rather thorough investigation and experiment." Buddha himself told. So Nalanda tradition, like that tradition, we extensively investigate. So, because of Nalanda master, now Tibetan, you Vietnamese, also Buddhist, and follower of Nalanda tradition, Sanskrit tradition, we also same. Millions of Chinese Buddhists also follow of Nalanda tradition, Japanese as well, and Korean. But they are not much pay attention, logical approach. So, we Tibetan, over 1,000 years, according advice of Shandarakshita, we pay much attention for reasoning. So, now today, in the world, I think, number. I think about 1 billion, less than 1 billion Buddhists. Sri Lanka, Thailand, Burma, Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, China, Korea, Japan, Mongolia, and Tibetan. So among, perhaps I think less than billion, out of 7 billion human being, 7 billion. Christian around billion, Muslim around billion, then Hindu about 600 millions or something. Then Buddhists also, you see, previously say 600, 700 millions. Now it seems, I think, mainly in China, Buddhist population increasing. So perhaps today, around, I think, little less than a billion Buddhists. So we all recite Buddham Shanam Gacchami, Dhammam Sanam Gacchami, Sangham Sanam Gacchami. But if someone asks, where is Buddha? What is Buddha? What is Dharma? So usually, you see, we not much pay attention for study. So I felt Chandra Rakshita's advice for study very important. Faith alone not sufficient. So we carry his advice sincerely. So now, so I'm very happy meeting with, as I mentioned earlier, Buddhist brothers, sisters from Vietnam. Now we, Buddhists, particularly follower of, what's it, Panchaparamita Sutra, or in other words, Sanskrit tradition. You see, we very much sort of pay attention, or in our tradition, they very much emphasize importance of altruism, bodhicitta. Take care others' life as much you yourself take care your own life. So that's the essence of Buddha's teaching according to Nalanda tradition. The Pali tradition very much emphasizes this is individual liberation. The Sanskrit tradition, liberation for all sentient beings. So that, I think, today's world, that thinking is very useful. Today's world. It's too much problem. Many problems created by we human beings ourselves. Ultimately, too much selfish thinking, just me, then we, not other. So that's a source of problem. Other hand, now scientists, many number of scientists, they say basic human nature is more compassionate. It's quite logical. We are social animal. As soon as we're born, mother's love, mother's kindness is the key factor for our survival and happiness. As soon as we born, the child do not know what is that person, but biologically, emotionally, immediately trust that person and seeking milk. That's the human nature. those persons who received the maximum affection when they are 4, 5, 6, 7 years. So their whole life, deep inside, more self-confidence. Those child at is an early period of early life, either mother, no mother, or mother not pay much attention, then that experience remain whole life. And deep inside, some kind of sense of insecurity there, isn't it? So that's not a religious matter, but a biological matter. We are a social animal. We need sense of community and taking care of each other. So now today, world, when we look world, 7 billion human beings, actually one community, human community. Future of East, the future depends West. Western future depends East. Similarly, North and South. So they base the differences on the basis of geographical situation is old sort of situation. Now modern time, world much closer. So now we really need a sense of sameness, oneness of 7 billion human beings. That's the teaching of Buddha. We really need that. So now, when I sort of when I know the one meeting Vietnamese, and I felt, yes, we are a follower of Buddha, and we are practitioner of infinite altruism. So certainly you can make certain some contribution for better world, happier world. Okay. So that's our common responsibility. Besides, and then our daily practice also, you should take care of other. That's the essential of one's own practice. Okay. So then Vietnamese quite hard-working. During Vietnam War, you see, South Vietnam, North Vietnam, you are really difficult. Then American come, but you defeated American forces. I remember, you see, the American embassy on helicopter, you see, land on the embassy roof and the American flag. You are quite tough, really. So you can make certain significant contribution for world peace through inner peace. So that I want to share with you. That also is a part of our practice, Buddha's teaching. Is think other more. Shiwale lungji chanda. Kasadi. Jikden dungen chin yewa tegu rangden dole chung. Jikden dewa chin yewa tegu shanden dole chungs.
Master Shanti Deva, in his Guide to the Bodhisattva Way of Life, says whatever suffering there is in the world all come from wishing oneself to be happy because of selfishness.
Just think oneself. I, me.
And whatever happiness and joy there is in the world all come from wishing others to be happy.
So since many years, sometimes I sort of expressing, you see, we are selfish, take care of oneself. It is right. But if you truly selfish, taking care of you, then you should be wise selfish rather than foolish selfish. Okay. You see, taking care about whole your community. Then today's reality is whole world is our community. Taking care them is the best way to fulfill your own wish. So therefore, is it thinking other or altruistic sort of mind is wise selfish. Okay. Like that. So now, some questions, some discussions. No formality.
Raise your hands, please.
Kính bạch Đức Đạt Ma, cho con hỏi là làm thế nào để duy trì được tình yêu thương và lòng biết ơn để cho Phật tử chúng con tu tập tinh tấn ạ. Con là Vũ Thị Mai, công ty đồ gỗ Mỹ Nghệ Hướng Mai, Đồng Kỵ Từ Sơn Bắc Ninh ạ. Con chào thầy. Dạ.
Who translate?
Your Holiness, we'd like to have your advice to practice gratefulness and love. Gratefulness and love.
No. 제상가 아주 자체스 삼던데 아니 지금 대화 진입 되게 심전 현을 때내 용돼야지. 야, 是吧? 간다 시코를 내배人类 증원도 분소 토비아디 조 심전을 때내 용도가. 알아? 애니 탈바 토비아싱에 뒤에 러버숨 그냥을 제니 러버숨 그나네 수중을 러버서야디 현이 시다 제발에 도버치 수중을 러버와. 제상가 심전 현을 때내 수중을 러버디 용고도가. 다들 산지지 고바세디 애니 닝지 첨부 애니 산지지 고바 토비아가 교소데 닝지 첨부 치기요리 그래서 닝지 첨부서야디 냠타고 심전을 미네 애니 닝지 지야르바 사진이 인도 제 내가 응원도 토비아 타르바 토비아 탐지 캠에 고바 토비아 디 삼으로 조 심전을 때네 용고야지 그래도가 가져다 가져서 줄 먹어라 왜然后老想知 So therefore, the 가다 시다 람단 제부 내가 상말로 푸수 속을 상말로 조 심전을 때는 용과 인도자네 심전 진정벌이 또 시리요. 가. So no need translation. 어디다 가져다? Okay.
Do you get English?
Then next question.
His Holiness, ladies and gentlemen, I would like to send to you all the best regards, and I wish you great health. And to be honest, I was born in a Roman Catholic family, but I'm a Buddhist. And Buddhism has turned me into a better person every single day of my life, make me kinder, more generous, and care more about other people's happiness more than my own. And I'm always grateful and appreciate that, and I will never regret of my choice. And my question for you today is related to Catholic and Buddhism. And there are many people say that they consider Jesus as a bodhisattva due to his salvation to people all around the world. And I want to ask you, is this right? And can we consider him like that? And they also say that Jesus used to come to India to study Buddhism, and then return to his country and make it into his own religion. And should we believe in that point of view? Please enlighten me. I really appreciate that. Thank you. Câu hỏi của em.
Now, before Buddha, in India, already, I think, different spiritual tradition already developed. I think at least 3,000 years, like Sangha tradition, and then Jain tradition, then Buddhist tradition. All these tradition emphasis ahimsa, non-violence, and action is concerned non-violence, not harming other. Motivation is concerned karuna, compassion. So that is Indian tradition. So Buddhism also, based on these concepts. Then Sangha philosophy, there are two groups. One Sangha philosophy, no creator, but rather self-creation. And then Jain also, no creation. Then Buddhism also is no creation. So we can make two groups among the world religion. Theistic religion believe God, creator. And non-theistic religion, no God. The reason, according to Hinduism, the self is the independent, no beginning. So self not created by God. Self always there. Self, no beginning, no end. So there is no work to God. Self always there. Go like that. Galaxies is one galaxy come and disappear. Sentient beings simultaneously on particular sort of galaxies, sentient being eventually develop. Then before galaxy disappear, the sentient beings also disappear. Then another sort of galaxies come. Endless. That's Buddhist view, and Jain also. So therefore, the non-theistic religion, you see, comes. Now then, theistic religion, mainly Christian, Islam, and then some Hindu believe creator. So in Bible, you see, it mentioned 3 wise men from East. It mentioned. That indicates when Jesus Christ there, they already have the concept, East, there are some wisdoms there. Okay. Then also, as you mentioned, I think about 12 years or something, Jesus Christ, you see, disappear. So some say he visited India. And also, you see, my friend, and many years ago, you see, mentioned in Ladakh, Himis monastery, Jesus Christ reached there, and there are some, I think Himis monastery or some monastery in Ladakh. So some record there, they say, but no one pay much attention for these things. So in any way, the Jesus Christ 10 commandment, 10 commandment. The Buddhist concept, same, something like 10 commandment.
So in Buddhist practice, we have the practice of 10 virtuous actions.
So, you see, all these major traditions, you see, the real message is love, compassion. Jesus Christ always used to talk love. He washed his disciples' sort of feet like that. He really used to practice himself. You should respect others. Now, in modern time, and all major different religious traditions, you see, leaders always remain like that. I think it's Jesus Christ and others sort of the founder of these traditions, I think, very sort of devoted to serving other people, like that. So their teaching is compassion. So they practice compassion in daily life. So that's the basis of harmony of all different religious traditions. Philosophical field, there is differences. Some say God, some say no God, some say previous life, some say no previous life. So in philosophical field, differences. But all these different philosophy, same purpose, to promote compassion, karuna, love. Like Christian tradition, God creates all these world. But then, what kind of God? full of love, full of compassion, then we actually children of that kind of father. So if you truly believe that, then there is no basis to killing each other. We all created by God, same Father. We all brothers, sisters. Wonderful. Like that. So therefore, different philosophy, the concept of creator, also very useful. You see, to bring the sense of brotherhood, sisterhood, loving kindness. Then the non-theistic religion, as I mentioned earlier, life after life, but individual life depend on other. That's nature, particularly social animal. So therefore, you see, for your own sort of interest, you have to take care of others. And then, on top of that, if you carry this life non-violent way, more compassionate way, that creates good karma. Good karma brings next life, happy life. So different way of approach. But the same result, same aim. Okay. So I always see telling or expressing, I never say Buddhism is best. Like medicine, judging individual mental disposition, then the doctors say, oh, your case, this medicine is best. Otherwise, you see millions of patients, one medicine is best. You can't say. So, out of 7 billion, or 1 billion non-believer, they are quite free. then 6 billion supposed believer, but some quite serious believer, some not serious. And sometimes, unfortunately, the faith also causing fighting. And now these days, in Arab world, just next to our neighbor, Afghanistan, Shia, Sunni, killing each other. Same Allah, same Quran, same 5-time prayer. Why killing each other? Unthinkable. So one of my commitment is religious promotion of religious harmony. India, over 1,000 years, religious harmony there. I always telling my Indian friend, over 3,000 years, the religious harmony in this country. Now this should show rest of the world the different religion, different philosophy, we can live together with mutual respect and to some extent mutual learning. I think these Buddhist masters of Nalanda, these also used to study Hindu, non-Buddhist tradition. I think their main purpose is in order to carry argument. In Nalanda, you see, there's the great sort of learning center. So usually, you see, the scholars come and debate. So therefore, you see, these great Buddhist masters, they also learned non-Buddhist philosophy. non-Buddhist theory. And then, within Buddhism, as far as theory is concerned, philosophy is concerned, there are many different philosophical schools of thought. Mainly like Vibhashik school of thought, Sotantik school of thought, and Chitta Mantra school of thought, and then Madhyamika school of thought. And within these four major different schools of thought, subdivisions there. So among the writing of these masters, there are many, many arguments, also discussions. Wonderful. So this very helpful to widen our sort of wisdom to think. Just believe one thing, and then our intelligence not much sort of develop. So a lot of different philosophy, different argument, different reasons, then our mind very, very sort of sharpening, very helpful, very helpful. So all these, ultimately, they carry teaching of basic human value. That is human compassion. Okay. So you previously, because a Christian survey, Christian, very good. I think the Buddhist, from Buddhist viewpoint, all these great teachers like Jesus Christ and Muhammad and Dekasa, Mahavira, all these great masters, you see, their sort of teaching affect thousands, millions of people over 1,000 years. Such sort of teaching cannot carry by ordinary person. So we consider these are manifestation of Buddha. We can say that. So there are in Tibet, you see, within Buddhism, some different sort of the traditions, only name and a different color of head. So one Lama, non-sectarian, so he usually carry one box of hat. So he carry different, I think at least 10, 15 different hats. So when he teach some teaching, and he wears some one thing, another case one thing. So you can keep different sort of hat. So no problem. Important is the theistic religion. Also, you see nice reason, as I already mentioned. Use that. And non-theistic religion, beautiful reasons. Use that. Then, now I am Buddhist, so I may say the Buddhism in general, particularly Nalanda tradition, we always emphasize importance of reality, investigation. So if Buddha's teaching, some particular teaching, not go well with reality, then we have liberty to reject. So therefore, Buddhist Nalanda tradition is actually, I consider, very scientific religion. When we discuss scientists or common sort of things, there's many scientists very, very eager to learn from Buddhist psychology, Buddhist logic. And then we also, you see, learn some useful sort of information. But one casualty for me, as a result of sort of meeting with scientists, now I do not believe Mount Meru, world flat, and in the center, Mount Meru, and the sun and the moon go like that. That's old thinking. Outdated. Do you believe Mount Meru? No, I don't. Oh? So, I think the Nalanda tradition experiment. So therefore, we can discuss with modern scientists. And now, Buddhist philosophy, like nothing exists independently. Now, quantum physics exactly now mentioning that. So when we discuss with quantum physicists, then you see they already know nothing exists as appears. Everything depends on observer. So long observer there, the object is observed there. Object there. No longer observer, then doubt. So that's exactly the Chitta Mantra's philosophy. You see mentioned that. Then Madhyamika philosophy, further investigation. Where is observer? Nothing. So, observed object, as well as observer, everything, you see, does not exist as appears. The Madhyamika philosophy, if you investigate, nothing there. Buddha also, beside Buddha's mind, Buddha's physical, no Buddha. So nothing there. Then without sort of investigation, because according to our common sense, then we say, oh, this is Buddha, this is me, this is you. If we investigate, where is I? This Tenzin Gyatso, Dalai Lama. Oh, you are seeing Dalai Lama's body and hearing Dalai Lama's voice. Where is Dalai Lama? You only seeing body of the Dalai Lama and the hearing of Dalai Lama's voice. And then through that, to some extent, some know about Dalai Lama's thinking. So now, Dalai Lama, the person, where? This is not the person's body. This is person's voice, not the person. Now, where is person? I, consciousness. Many Buddhists believe consciousness is self. But then further sort of investigation, consciousness, sensorial consciousness, the mental consciousness at the dreaming, also another level of mental consciousness. And without dream, another sort of deeper level of consciousness. At the time of dying, coma, another sort of deeper level of consciousness. That consciousness also momentarily changing. So then, where is the consciousness? No. So nothing, just a mere designation. Nothing independently exists. Now that philosophy Buddhists, all our problem is firstly anger, attachment. Too much attachment, then anger come. So anger and attachment is really the destroyer of our inner peace. And world peace also now, anger, really now creates a lot of violence. That anger very close with attachment, narrow-minded attachment. Attachment, not loving kindness. Loving kindness towards everybody. Attachment only towards your friend. So that kind of love, loving kindness is biased. Genuine loving kindness, unbiased. So then these, you see, hatred, anger, expel, and bring attachment, bring closer. You see, both are entirely based on appearances. Now, some quantum physicists, some already, you see, notice one person who really convinced nothing exists as appears. You see, there the extreme view is much less. That's exactly Buddhist psychology, Nagarjuna psychology mentioned that. So the philosophy, nothing exists as appears, all ultimately designated, not objectively exist. So that philosophy is the antidote of ignorance which believe things exist as appears. That much I also used to practice that, this philosophy. At least over 60 years, 70 years, I practiced this. Immense help. And then combine these philosophical sort of views, or philosophical understanding, and then the altruism. These, I think altruism, over 50 years, I practiced seriously. Some experience. Then emptiness, shunyata, over 60 years to 70 years. Some effect to my, emotion. Very useful. Very useful. You see, when I heard some sort of bad news or some sort of difficult situation, I can maintain peace of mind. Like that. So therefore, these philosophical views are day-to-day life very, very helpful, very relevant. Okay. So now you, as I mentioned earlier, you should keep different hat. Say one, you see, like Rome, you see, wear another sort of hat. And then in Karata, Karanda, Kariraga, Kare. Or Mecca. When you visit Mecca, another hat. Actually, whenever I have the opportunity and the local, actually, you see, in the sense of respect all religion, all tradition, I take pilgrimage to Kaza Masjid, Jama Masjid in Delhi, where Muslim had, and I pray very sincerely. And then Jerusalem, the Wailing Wall, the Judaism consider Wailing Wall is something very important, and I touch the wall. Then one small Christian temple, I visited there. And then the rock where I think Muhammad received teaching. I went there and I want to put one scarf. Then firstly I asked the person, may I throw this scarf? He said, no. Then I have to obey. So like that. So whenever I have the opportunity, pay my respect, all different religions, or say the sacred place, like that. So, one occasion in South India, one Hindu sadhu, wonderful. He helped several thousand students their meal, wonderful. So he invited me, and we have some discussions. Then I told him, practice of Shila Kasirta. Morality. Practice of morality, practice of single-pointed mind, practice of analytical meditation, we are same. Hindus, Buddhists, we are same practice. The only difference is you believe Atma, I believe Anatma, selfless. The Muslim or Hindu believe some kind of permanent self, independent self. I do not believe that. That's our private business. You believe selflessness, because independent self. I believe selflessness. There's no basis of quarrel. So no problem like that. So one of my commitment is promotion of religious harmony. I have because of confidence, religious harmony is possible because India. All major world religious tradition exist here. Occasionally some problem. Otherwise, you see, very good religious harmony. I think Indian children, like Muslim, from their childhood, they already know there are different religious traditions. As well as Hindus or Buddhists. So religious harmony, I feel, very important. As I mentioned earlier, each religion and with a different philosophy, suitable to individual people. So long, the main essence is the same, love, loving kindness. No problem. So, next question. Okay.
Yeah, okay, sorry. Thank you for your presence. I'm very honored. I want to ask you, so you define the religions by love, and I think that a lot of philosophers have noticed the paradox that many religions are talking about love, but a lot of violence are also present in their text, and it has brought about a lot of violence in terms of wars. And so my question is, do you see any form of dark clouds which would bring the same thing in Buddhism, within Buddhism? And if yes, how would you understand this, and how would you fight against it? Thank you.
In Nalanda, according to Nalanda tradition, you see two categories of Buddha Dharma. One Buddha Dharma for public, Debachizen said. One part of Buddha Dharma, Kansa Kwezen. Ale won, jugu orba. Ra jugu orba. Sesa nge di Debachizen said gi Debachizen want to cheba yina. Ani 다게트링 뼈바 탐지지 쟁은 로 대신 이다니 파도 될라 저도 벌슨지 하다 한밀라서 가워치 세네 어다 남게 태도가 심제 어다지 수인의 간다벽에 인연도 못 주고 요 말이 제버려 버리 가다 다게 대원 정도 니때 여선이 어디 섬됐던 거요 뒤대버지선지 다 강사 고전스 르드잖아요. 아니 양치로 또스 대충에서 그렇잖아요. 아니 시외무주, 개외무주, 왕경무주, 작부무주 사람들 전이 아니 다다 개사람들 샤용구도 가. 그래서 디 강사 고전가 온도 제베 배지 다 송단들이 나가 초게 나로 드지 용구요래. 자 인도 다 네 남주한다 나가 초가된데 때문에 그들이야 아니 남주이나 고대 지 개tor 땅야 된데 요래 개를 또만 진이 이 자야 된데 나한테 두기면 이제 자다 개스니 동기스니 자 민두가 가서 파마 못 주고 지어요 말봐 심지어 탐저 다게 대원 정도 년세 디나로 여대 여름마다 디나로 마상치기 자기 거야래. 저상에 남주 하다 진짜기 나가 저것 때문에 그들이야 객자함들 여래. 객자 두기면 강신데 객주 지하로 지었다. 자, 네가 지금 나서면 도면도 저 디섭디 동문세제 시다 도면서 시다 동문세 개지식도 지 중부 아니 헐루니지 티스 중부들이 도시가 내한테 지다 가서全国 시아주자라 마데르예베이네 저 섬들 가게 맞으시 제 있는 도무진 어두스디기 서들이 인도 강사 고생가 원도 전에 송셰베 나 초가 나로라 시계 왕자세 대용구요라 이 차부 계시디 대용구요래 로카시 콘 the Japanese tour. A few years ago, I met one Japanese. After he visited Tibet, then he came to see me here. And he asked me, the Buddhism is a very much sort of compassionate teaching. And however, in Tibet, he found in many temples, some temple quite dark and very wrathful deities. And after he visited some of these temples, that night he lost his sleep because of fear. He asked me, why? You see, Buddha's teaching is compassion. Meantime, in some of these temples, very much wrathful deity. He asked me that. It's a big question. Yes, as I mentioned earlier. Buddha's teaching, Nalendra teaching, some sort of what's the tantric teaching for people whose mental sort of condition a little bit sort of narrow, and he taught accordingly. Then basic Buddha's teaching, all sentient beings are best friend. We must serve. And all sentient beings, as I mentioned earlier, is the same. That's Buddha's also the real teaching. So we have to make distinction. So I appreciate Buddha's basic teaching, wonderful. The one particular Buddha's teaching with wrathful deities, I doubt. Okay, next question.
His Holiness, I don't have any question. I just would like to present to you a message of deep devotion and respect for my mom. And the unique dream of her life is to come here to see you and to be blessed by you. But she's more than 89 years old, and it would be very hard for her to travel. So on behalf of my mom, her name is Ling Ngọc Nhung, and I guess she's watching the live stream right now. We would like to wish you a very long and happy and healthy life. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
What a question. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Xin mời câu hỏi tiếp theo. Mọi người đặt câu hỏi rõ ràng, ngắn gọn nhé.
Thưa Đức Ngài, con xin hỏi một cái câu hỏi về mang tính về tu tập, tức là bây giờ thì cái việc giữ giới là việc rất là quan trọng ở trong tu tập. Thì có những cái câu hỏi về việc giữ giới trong cái thời gian hiện nay, thì đây là câu hỏi của một số bạn đạo và cũng là cái câu hỏi của con, mong Ngài giải đáp. Đấy là những cái quan niệm về giới tà dâm và uống rượu ở trong cái thời đại hiện nay thì như thế nào? Cụ thể là đối với cả những giới trẻ mà chưa kết hôn thì như thế nào có thể gọi là tà dâm? Thứ hai là đối với cả trong cái sinh hoạt của những cái vợ chồng và ở đây là không phải quan hệ ngoài vợ chồng thì như thế nào là một cái quan hệ về không phạm vào giới tà dâm? Và nếu như những cái cư sĩ mà khi mà phạm vào những giới này thì cần phải sám hối như thế nào, và quả báo của những cái việc phạm giới này là như thế nào, và cư sĩ cần làm những cái việc sám hối như thế nào? Xin hết, và con xin sám hối nếu những câu hỏi này là không phù hợp.
Your Holiness, the question is about the morality practice. As a Buddhist, we have the vow of not committed improper sexual relationship. But as a young couple, how should we practice this? Because young couple nowadays, before getting married, we can have sexual relationship. Is it considered improper? And about the couple, wife and husband, in daily life, how should we practice this vow as a not committed improper sexual relationships? And we sorry for if this question is not so suitable in the way.
좀 더 되게 미기주 순자네. 미사주 순요마다 로임 순요래. 저성변나 사상제 즉 사상 편주 지금은 지기시기 배 규지시야. 즉 소수 사상의 로소 양직 현달이야. 건축 주시야. 뜻을 로임 지시. 진짜 그 저도.
And the second question is also about drinking wine, because in the social relationship, how should we follow this vow of not committed drinking wine, drinking alcohol?
다들 미기주나 믹스송 말에디 공부루주기 응원도 주베 최주루 사송요래. 어다 응원도 주베 최주루 나눠라. 아니 창 미통도 송요래. 제니 아니 창 아니 창 모든 거 대비는 12개. 시야니가 되게. Without drink, is there any danger to die? I don't think. So occasionally you enjoy, but not too much. Should not drink till drunk. Should not do. Occasionally. Okay. Then next question.
Your Holiness, it's a big honor to be here today, and thank you so much for taking the time. My question would be, I want to live by your principles of love and compassion. I wonder, though, sometimes it's very hard to keep hope when the world is so unfair and bad things are happening to good people. So I wonder how to keep hope in such a situation.
See, I think action level, if someone seriously take advantage on you, then action level, you have to take appropriate action to protect yourself. Don't let the person unreasonably take advantage. But without sort of lose compassion. Why you take such action is out of concern of their well-being, not hatred. So, somebody let you know, said you.
So, for bodhisattvas, sorry.
Oh?
So, there are 7 different practices that the bodhisattvas are permitted.
So, everything ultimately depends on motivation. Action, according to the Bodhisattva sort of, also the vow, it mentioned
So on the action level, if you don't take the appropriate measure, then that also is against your bodhisattva vows.
Under certain circumstances, out of motivation to stop their wrongdoing, firstly you should explain. Then still that person you see carry that wrong action, then you have to think appropriate action, including raise, court way, like that. And if someone really, you see, because of the bully you, then if you see the circumstances such, hit back. Oh, okay, then hit back. Out of compassion. Anger or a little bit sort of rough sort of motivation combined with wisdom and because anger, it's good. Like that. So, okay. So some Korean monk,
the Koreans have this tradition of wrestling a lot.
And also Japanese monk. Okay. You see, there are three sort of actions, three karma: body level, speech level, mental level. The main thing is mental level. Mental level, keep compassion, and compassion, not foolish compassion, wise compassion. Okay. Thank you.
Một câu hỏi cuối cùng nhé.
Afterward, you see, Yang Rinpoche here, you see, I want to, you see, further discussions with Yang Rinpoche. Okay.
Ngài sẽ dừng ở đây. Thế và Ngài nói là chúng ta có thể ngồi lại cùng Ngài Rangten Rinpoche sẽ tiếp tục để trả lời cho các câu hỏi của chúng ta.
So the essential thing is, you are Buddhist, traditionally Buddhist country. So this is not a question of changing religion. So now Buddhism, among the different religious traditions, as I briefly mentioned, many non-believers, including some scientists, now really showing interest about Buddhist teaching. So therefore, you, historically, Buddhist country, so now important is pay more attention for study Buddhist philosophy. And then firstly, you yourself, individual, genuine Buddhist and altruistic with wisdom, and create more peaceful family. Then one family, 10 family, 100 family, community, more peaceful, wise community, much happier. Then one community, another community. I think you can make some contribution. Aiming is change the life of the society. Then I quite critical about so-called modern education. Modern education starts from West. The West, religion is faith. So the newly developed education mainly oriented about material value. So now you should think seriously, Vietnam, Buddhist country, and your education from kindergarten should include some education about our emotion, how to keep peace of mind. These days, I'm telling, in kindergarten level, in education, we also include hygiene of physical. So now we should include hygiene of emotion. hygiene of physical, important. The healthy physical, full anger, not good. So, simultaneously taking care about our physical well-being and mental well-being as a sort of secular teaching, education. The kasota, the minti kasati, academic subject, not religious subject. Okay. That I think, like Vietnam, traditionally Buddhist country, I think you can do. In West, difficult, different faith. So, if you too much emphasis these things, then they feel uncomfortable. In the East, Buddhism is our traditional religion. So now only thing is we should take some ideas from Buddhist teaching, not as a religion, but academic subject about psychology and certain philosophical fields, like that. So I think usually Tibetan, wherever they live, in India, in America, in Switzerland, usually the local people consider Tibetan quite honest, quite peaceful. Because since our childhood, you see, we already sort of also the kasoda, koma, kumshija, familiar. You see, not killing animal, insect, and the very word nyingje, compassion, from childhood. So like that, you Vietnamese also, you see, should create compassionate society, compassionate country, not just faith, reason, combined with modern science. Then you can make a significant contribution for world peace. Okay. One time in China, when Deng Xiaoping there, take some invasion, venom, isn't it? So you resist, very tough. So now we are facing crisis of emotion. We should take some sort of step and to resist that, I may say, invasion of destructive emotion. Okay. In that case, I will lead you as a journal for fight with destructive emotion. Okay. So you consider my soldier. So let us try to carry this war with destructive emotion. Not talking about next life or nirvana. We're just talking how to build peaceful, harmonious world. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. See you again tomorrow. Then tomorrow, some new questions, not repeating questions.